Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Ellie's Perspective. This is the third or fourth installment of what I've been doing. And I just wanted to get on here. I had a whole nother video, I have to be honest with you. I had a whole other video that I recorded. It was good to go, it was ready. And I went back to play it to get some of the clips to upload today so that they would automatically upload later. And turns out the audio was just like crapped out. It was, I think, just the mic was on the wrong setting, essentially. So that created a lot of issues. There was a lot of white noise kind of blocking the sound. So I was like, it just didn't need to go out. I think also the video was not as coherent as some of my other videos. So I was like, okay, let's just scrap it. So here I am starting anew. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I am Ellie, your host, and on this channel and in these types of clips that I'm doing for y'all, it's really just a discussion of me bridging two concepts together. Hello, I am your guide between the secular and non-secular, and I will help you cross those bridges as we come to them if you ever so choose. A bold reminder to make sure that you follow me for more content like this. Like and subscribe. Share it. Sharing is caring. But also make sure that you kind of take with you into these videos the concept of take what works, leave what doesn't. So if something makes sense to you, pick it up, hold on to it, ruminate on it. If it doesn't, you're welcome to just leave it there. There's by no means are any of the things I'm saying are the one way that you have to do a thing or something that you need to do in order to live a fulfilling life. These are just one aspect of one person's perspective. Perhaps there are other perspectives in there too. But there's many different ways to live your life. So if you find that this way makes sense to you, by all means. If it doesn't, then that's fine. Everybody has their own journey, and respecting that process means understanding that not everyone's going to get what I'm putting out there. So I understand, and no harm, no foul. If you are into it, stick with me. We're going to go far. There's so many things to get into, and it's going to be really exciting. I love the topic that I'm about to discuss with y'all today. And so I'm very, very, very excited to talk about. I was thinking about it. I was like, let me just do an audio. Let me just record because it's stuck in my head. Also, my cat is meowing a lot right now. She is going through her own period of growth, which involves being less dependent on me so that she can find entertainment within herself. Because I did have a roommate change, which means like several animals left our home and also moved out, and a person. And so she's like used to having constant stimulus from me, from another cat, from a dog, from another human. And now it's just me. And she's like, what the heck? That's not enough. I get it. So I'm trying to be considerate of this change for her. However, she's driving me a little bit insane. I will say that. And we are going to be moving. So I don't want to get another kitten because there is a kitten I do have in mind for her, but it doesn't make sense to bring another kitten in here and then doing all the things that I have to do with the moving and transitioning. And it makes sense once I'm stable and she can have a steady place that we can do that. But for now, it's us. And she's learning how to have fun. So if you hear meowing, it'll be her. She might also try to grab me, like high key. But yeah, I'm your guide. I'm here to help make some sense of things. I think a lot of people that might be drawn to this are people that are perhaps in a transition period or in an in-between place where they are used to maybe very logical thought processes. I might have to close my door if she's going to keep distracting me. That might have to happen. But there's a balance between kind of living in this modern age and living in a perspective that maybe is being, I want to say, like, outgrown by other perspectives. So, how do we transition from these things to these things? How do I make sense of this world when I'm a very secular person and a lot of these concepts seem to be a bit esoteric or non secular? And that is where I'm here to help bridge those gaps for you if you are open to it. The concept I want to talk about today is happiness. It's happiness is a great concept. It's a really key point in being a manifestor of your reality. It's a key point of being a healthy member of society, productive member of society, but just happiness in general applies to so many different aspects of our lives. So I really wanted to talk about it because I think happiness is the thing that most people are seeking and maybe having a tricky time finding or maintaining. I will say this first. I get the comments all the time, and this is kind of where it came from. It literally happened just recently, but I get the comments all the time like, oh my gosh, you're always so happy. You're super bubbly. You're very energetic. You're always smiling. You're always having a good time. You seem always like you're happy. And like, how are you always happy and bright and shiny? And people say it to me, and I know there's some people are saying it as a compliment. Some people are saying it as like, why are you so energetic right now? I'm miserable. Like, I get it. But I get the sense from most people when I hear them saying these things to me is that they think it's odd or unusual or difficult to obtain happiness that's going to be long lasting. And I'm gonna have to like pause because of Aria. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So I get the sense from people when they're saying these things to me that they're seeing happiness as this thing that's really difficult to maintain throughout their day or on a consistent basis. That's just kind of the vibe I'm getting. A lot of times when I'm hearing these things, it's also in like very challenging settings. So, for example, I heard that a lot at law school. Law school is a very challenging setting. That's a difficult period I'm only just now kind of like transitioning out of. And, you know, I still have other things that I have to do for my career with regard to the bar and things like that. But the schooling part is done for me. And that part was a long, tenuous thing and strenuous thing that really just took so much of my time and energy and I would say peace and joy. Even though throughout the whole expanse of law school, I constantly got compliments on being very bubbly and happy and just full of life and excitement. And it was one of those things where it was true. It wasn't like faked, which, fun fact, I met a guy at a bar once. Oops, the beginning of a joke. I met a guy at a bar once, and it was a pool bar, and I think I was like out with friends playing pool, and he got my number, and we talked a little bit after like that first time. And one of the things he said to me is like, oh, you're so positive, you're so bubbly, you're so like happy. And I was like, oh, thanks. I thought he was giving me a compliment. Y'all, this man proceeded to say, but is it real? I just want to know how much of it is fake, like how much of it is like a facade that you're putting on and da 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 da. And I was so genuinely confused because I'd never have anyone say that to me, to my face. Well, we were on the phone, but I was like, I've never had anyone say something like that to me before. But maybe it was implied by people's commenting on it, my energy or whatever. And I remember in the conversation, I was just like, I don't know why I would pretend to be happy if I'm not happy. Like, I never pretend to be something I'm not. It's just not my thing. Unless I'm doing like role play or something. But that's because I'm having fun doing that, you know? That would be the only time that I'm like, I get into D&D and stuff. Like, that'd be the only time I would do something like that. But if I don't like something, oh, you're going to know I don't like it. I'm going to tell you I don't like it. I've never been a quiet person in that way. I've never been really a coy person either. I've been pretty direct throughout my entire existence about how I feel, what I'm thinking. It just so happens that I'm a genuinely happy person most of the time. I'm not happy every single second of every single day. I get pissed off all the time. In fact, I get angry, I get upset, I get sad, I get worried. All of the things. I am a human being. So I experience all of the things. The majority of the time, however, I am pretty happy or peaceful, or a combination of the two. And sometimes I'll be in a mode where something will anger me, and it's like my brain finds something funny about it. I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's so rude. It's actually hilarious. And then I'll start laughing. And so I shift from anger to kind of like comedy pretty quickly, which is why I think comedy is like top tier quality to have in your friendships and connections, respectfully so. You can't have someone that's always goofing around all the time, because you do need serious moments. I think as an adult, maybe, but at least I'm speaking for my own opinion. But at least in my opinion, I think, a little comedy goes a long way. A little bit of ha-ha goes a long way. Enjoy. But my point is to say that I was really confused by his statement, because I was like, how do you fake joy or happiness? I was like, I would never do that. I was like, nope, I'm just a happy person. He didn't really get it. And then he didn't like stop talking to me after that, which I kind of felt had to do with that part of our conversation. A big part was like this kind of understanding, or this belief structure that, joy or happiness is difficult to obtain. So if someone is joyful or happy, they might be putting on a facade of some kind, like an act. I don't do that. I just mind my own business, and my business is good. I just make myself happy. That's my business, and I'm good at it. And the thing is like, from that incident to all the other incidents in between, what I want to say to that especially is that my happiness is not like something that just floats around and I'm just floats into my like purview or into my being just whenever. It's something I constantly cultivate. I constantly work on my happiness, and not in the way like toil, but in the way of like inspired focus. I do things and I have rituals that I engage in to help me practice joy and happiness and finding it and understanding it and cultivating it and growing it and loving it and sharing it. There are things that I do constantly every day. In the morning, I focus on it. I meditate. I wake up. Even before I meditate, I set intentions. I think about these things. Then I get up and meditate. Then I follow my joy throughout the day to what's calling me. I listen to my emotions and I use them like a compass. I use my emotions like a compass. If something feels right, I move towards it and I engage in it more. If something feels wrong, I move away from it and I try to step back and understand what about it wasn't right for me. That way I can better cultivate what is right for me. So maybe it's just a matter of changing my perspective. Maybe it's a matter of shifting the situation. Whatever the case may be, that's what I do. And then I segment intend. I segment intend. I segment intend. I segment intend. We talk about setting segment intending. I think it would have been in the third video, the one that I did not post because of the audio. So we can talk about that today too a little bit. But I do that. And then when I encounter problems, I take a step back. I do have a natural kind of inclination towards quieting my emotions or I want to say disengaging sometimes, but it's more or less I just quietly put them to the side so that I can assess something logically first. And then I bring in the emotions that apply accordingly, little by little, depending on the situation. So I'm calm under pressure. Something happens, I go into solution oriented thinking first, and then I move into the emotions later. That might just be a part of my character. I am a Capricorn sun, moon, and a Scorpio rising. Like, I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart too. So that's the way I function, the way I think about a thing. It's like I can stress out later. I'd like to get to the root of the problem first and resolve it. And then I can like deal with the other stuff on the back end if need be. So I seek clarity. I seek clarity. I seek resolution. I seek collaboration, and I have fun doing it. When I encounter a problem, it's almost never that I'm like, oh no. Like, even when I say, oh no, like, really, I'm like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to, solve something, like get my brain pumping and going and doing something different. I get bored, and I like to overcome challenges as a way to rid myself of boredom. It is something I enjoy doing. And the more thought that goes into it, the more fun I'm having. So I found a way to make it work for me and make it make sense. I found a way to make obstacles that maybe a lot of people find difficult to approach. I found a way to be curious about it. I chose to be curious about it. I constantly choose to be curious over angry or scared. And that's not to say that I never get angry and I never get scared. I got angry today. You know what I'm saying? Driving. And I was like, oh, I didn't segment intent. I remember I catch my feelings. I think sometimes people are just feeling and they're not catching them. But if you practice slowing things down a bit and catching your feeling, ooh, I'm really angry right now. Why am I so angry right now? Like, ask yourself questions. You don't have to ask it out loud. You can just ask it in your head. Why am I so angry right now? What's going on with me? What's going on? Why am I reacting this way? It's like, usually I wouldn't get angry over this, but I'm really upset right now. What's going on? I like to figure out what's going on with me. I ask myself questions. I take time to listen to myself. And when I figure things out, I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Okay. It's something I don't like. I acknowledge that feeling, and then I let it go. I let it go. A lot of times I resolve it, but a lot of times I have to let spirit resolve it for me because I'm maybe too close to it. So in that time frame between me realizing there's nothing I can do about the situation that I'm upset about, realizing that there are some things I can do. Maybe I can't do all of the things, but there are some things I can do. I can control myself. I can control the way I see the problem. I can control the way I think about it. I can control the way I feel about myself. I can listen to myself and care. I can step back and take a breather. And a lot of times when it's really intense or something just came out of the blue that I really don't like, I will step back. I'll meditate. Let me take a moment to gather my thoughts and to slow things down and quiet my mind. And I will do that. I will meditate. And I have done that. And there are periods of times that are more difficult than others. And in those times, I up my meditation. I was like, oh, I'm going to be meditating in the morning and at night. Usually it's just in the morning for 15 minutes. It's like, maybe it needs to be at night too. I need to get my journal out. Let me do some journaling. Like, I do things to maintain my joy and happiness. It's never just, she's just always happy. Everything's always working out for her. Things do work out for me. Things are always working out for me. And I am waking up pretty happy. But it's because I do all those things that I said regularly. Like the way people wake up and take their vitamins, I wake up and meditate. Like, I wake up and set an intention for my day. I wake up and try to find 10 good things that I'm really happy about in my life. And they could be small things. It could be like, my blanket is so warm. I love my blanket. I am blessed to have this blanket right now. It could be my cat. Usually it's my cat. My cat is super cute. Why is she so cute? She's adorable. And I'm so happy to have her in my life. Or it's I'm glad that I just woke up today. Today is a great day to wake up. There are so many things that I wanted to do today that I didn't get to do yesterday. And now I woke up and I have the opportunity to do those things. So I'm really happy about that. Or I just wake up and I see the way the light is coming in through the window into my room and I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful the way the light's coming in. Like I see the little tiny things I think that people forget about sometimes, and I pay attention to them and I notice them and I enjoy them. I don't tell people that's what I'm doing, but I am. And I encounter people like that too. When I'm at school or at work or in my a friend group or out in public or in like a private setting on a plane, whatever, I find things about people that I enjoy too. I try. It's difficult when I'm in traffic, which is why I always set intentions before I get in the car or like when I'm in the car before I drive somewhere, because I know my points of contention, the areas that I have struggle with finding joy in is driving. Is driving in San Diego is difficult for me. Everybody irritates me. Okay. Not everybody. Some people irritate me. What I just did there was a correction, a negative statement that I adjusted to allow space for positivity to come in. I didn't say everybody in San Diego is a perfect driver and I love it, because that would be false and that'd be a lie. I'm honest about how I feel, but I also acknowledge that maybe working in absolutes, speaking in absolutes aren't actually accurate either. There are plenty of times where someone has let me in, they didn't have to do that. They're nice drivers, they're considerate people, considerate pedestrians, all the time happening. And if I focus more on that and less on the stuff that irritates me, the chances are I'll encounter more of the good stuff and less of the bad stuff. And that's how that works. It's following the joy. It's paying attention to yourself. It's knowing the points of contention. I get frustrated about this. Usually it's work. Sometimes it's parents. Sometimes it's a spouse. Sometimes it's a sibling. It might be one of those friends in the group. She's like, I get along with everybody but that person. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a moment like that. It doesn't have to be those exact things, but everybody has something that like kind of sets their teeth on edge. You know, you're kind of like, that's really, And it's okay. That's the beauty of being you, is that you have your own existence, your own experience, your own reality, your own journey, and your own access to happiness and frustration. You can choose to be frustrated. You can choose to be happy. If you can be angry, you can be happy. We live in a world of polarities. If you can be up, you can be down. If you can be down, you can be up. And there are benefits to both. And when you get more into your spiritual practice, when you get more into finding the gratitude in life and living your life in a more happy day-to-day way, you're going to find that even the crappy moments are actually good. They actually bring something new to the table that wasn't there before. I like to think of it like before there was light, before there was electricity, I mean, people living out in the wild, you know, eating raw meat and things of that nature. Before they discovered fire, they were like cold and scared of maybe the predators. The meat was cold and raw. And then enough people were like, we really don't like the darkness at night, the cold at night, the predators coming for us at night. Enough people were like, this isn't working for us, that fire was created. They created fire. And they said, we can use the fire to solve all of the problems that we had. But it's like, if you were never cold and you were never scared, you would have never thought about fire. You would have never needed fire. You would have never been like, maybe there's a better way to do this. Lo and behold, fire. So I try to think of it like that, as even the challenges in life, they bring something to the table. You know, sometimes people go through really terrible things and they're very painful. In my experience, a lot of the people that have like s- done life-saving things, like been their own heroes or heroes for other people in big and small ways, or angels like on earth, those people, a lot of those people have been through some of the most terrifying experiences and troubling experiences. And I'm not saying that you have to have trouble to be a good person. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of beauty that comes out of that collateralness. I do like that movie Collateral Beauty. Kind of touches on that. It's like there's things that come out as like so many people, like a family friend of mine, he's a general surgeon, and he told me, I was like, well, why did you want to be that? And of course it was, being able to support himself, but it's like he sees people being sick and not having the things that they need, the money that they need to get the medical care that they need, and suffering and dying over simple medications that they could have gotten over the counter had they have had the money and afforded it, right? And so he became a doctor so that he could make enough money to go back to some of those areas where people couldn't afford it and give them free medical care for serious things that they're dealing with. Free medical care. Because he experienced seeing people like in pain and suffering, dying, sick, illness, and not having what they needed when they should have had what they needed. And that was a traumatizing thing in his life, but it made him want to do something about it. So it's like you can't really escape the contrast. I call it contrast. Get that term from Abraham Hicks. I really love it. The contrast is part of the expansion, it's part of the growth, it's part of the experience of living. It's part of knowing what you want because you know what you don't want. You know what's not working. You know there's something better. You're seeking more. That's what progression is. We're always moving forward. And as infinite beings, you're going to keep wanting more. You're going to want more. You're going to say, I learned a new language. How about I learn another? You know what I mean? Or maybe I could teach someone else. There's always something else around the corner for you. And that's also, I think, part of where the happiness comes for me is like, maybe I had a bad day. Maybe I'm in a bad way. I just broke up with my boyfriend or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, but you know what? I got so much good going for me. And there were lessons that I got out of that breakup and that relationship and the end of that cycle, whatever it was, that I would have never had if I didn't have that experience. There are things that I learned about myself, things that I grew as a person stronger. Even I'm stronger now than I was before. And that's how I feel like about law school too. A lot of people are stressing and all these things, and it's very stressful. I was one of them too. But I made it my mission to maintain my mental wellness because I knew how important it was for this part of me to be in alignment with what I was trying to accomplish. I needed to make sure that I had a strong foundation, mental clarity, wellness. And I already had a spiritual background before law school, but it's like I didn't realize how intense law school was. And then when I realized, I was like, oh, I got to double down. I got to double down on what I've been doing. Like 100%. 100% I need to double down. And I did. And then it just ended up, I'm just happy. So it's like people can feel however you need to feel to get through a thing. But I think you need to ask yourself at some point, do I want to stay in this sensation that I don't like, or can I let this sensation go and maybe find something that makes me feel a little bit better? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like elation, but it could be peace. It could be comfort. It can be, neutrality, because even neutrality is good, right? Happiness. It's something that we all have access to. It's something we all can cultivate. It is something you do have to practice. It's a practice like anything. The way you study and learn how to become literates, the way you learn multiplication, the way you go outside and work out and try to strengthen your muscles, like you have to strengthen your happy muscle too. Your happy muscle needs attention. And there are just some things that you can do to kind of help build up your happiness meter, essentially. I'm going to go over some of those things. Okay. Let's do it. So, first, I'm catching the time. 22 minutes. We're doing great. I think I'm doing a little better with the timing. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Some of these things are going to be things that I got from Abraham Hicks. I think most of them are. Some are a mixture of Abraham Hicks and Bashar teachings. These are all things you can access for free on YouTube and Instagram, you know, just the interweb. I also, I'm trying to think, I might have tweaked some things that just from my experience work for me, but I think for the most part, these things are pretty straightforward that you can find elsewhere. It's just my experience that I've had with them. These are things you can use in your spiritual practice, but especially in setting like business appropriate settings, any kind of high pressure situation. I've noticed that for me and for others that I've seen, a lot of people encounter high pressure when they are held to certain expectations within their society. So usually that centers around academia, that centers around career and work, it centers around family dynamics. So these things are things that can help you. And the cool thing is too, y'all, when you start getting into some of these practices and you start making them a part of your day to day, what you'll find is that you may have started doing it because you wanted to focus on one aspect of your life. And in doing it, it actually benefited many other aspects of your life you didn't think it would. It correlates to a lot of things because our stress affects us everywhere. It doesn't just affect us in one way, it affects us many ways. One of the things that I've talked about before is stress. With law school, you get a very large amount of responsibility and stress and expectations that, and like I said, you have to relearn and recalibrate your mind to a lot of new concepts. It's an overhaul of intensity. It's a lot. There's pressure, there's competition. The way you are graded is very differently from how you're graded in undergrad. Things don't move the way that you've been learning them since before law school. There's nothing that compares to law school. The only thing I can think that slightly compares is medical school. Medical school is similar in that it's perhaps, I think personally, medical school might be a little bit even more advanced than law school at certain practices because with medical school, you have something called, I'm getting a bit off topic, I'm digressing, but I'll pull it back after I finish this. You have, it's like a practicum residency. You have residency of medical school, which means that you do the academia part, you do the testing, and then I think I'm doing the right order. It might be the testings after that, or there might be 2 tests that you take. I'm not in medical school, so I don't know 100%. I just know that there is a lot of testing. But you do that, academia, but then you have to actually perform in the medical field. You you work as a medical intern, you come in and you shadow doctors, you learn procedures, you do probably menial procedures to start, and then you get gradually more intense depending on what the program is, right? Law school doesn't really have that. You can do externships and internships, but you aren't really going to be able to, as a connection from one into the other, go into a practice. You have to kind of do that on, you have to find it your own. It's not the same process. It's not required. So the states and things aren't, most of the schools don't have a residency attached to the program, which would be really nice. And I think that's something that we should start doing for law school personally. Anyway, all that is to say, it's very intense. It's a lot. I've seen some wild things. I've seen people go blind. Well, I haven't seen them go blind. I've heard of people going blind from the stress. I've seen people break down. I've seen people have outbursts in class. I've in the hallways. There are people that have been hospitalized, multiple different people at different times. Grown people breaking down, crying. It's very intense. Alcoholism is a big thing. Drug use is a big thing. There's a lot of things that happen when you put people under a sustained amount of high stress. And that is law school. It is law school. So what happens is when you're dealing with a lot of stress like that is you do have a higher increase of cortisol levels within the body. Cortisol is the kind of like adrenaline hormone, and it's not adrenaline, but it's like, I might have to do a video on cortisol separately, but cortisol comes from stress. It's like an output from stress, and it constricts the body, the vessels. It puts you into kind of like a fight or flight sort of headspace for your body, your physiology as well. And you experience enough of it, you can start having things like organ failure, high blood pressure, heart attack. It's not even just that. You have inflammation within the body. Inflammation leads to basically any kind of ailment that you have. Inflammation can lead to your brain. You can experience disorders. Inflammation can lead to the muscles, and you can experience disorders. Anything within the body that has too much inflammation over too long of a period of time can cause problems. So it's important to understand cortisol is not a thing that you want to really regularly be dealing with. It can really mess up your body. And it can also mess up your mind. So when you have cortisol levels kind of pulsing through you, your cognitive abilities, those are the abilities for you to problem solve, to think outside the box, to, instead of just reacting to something happening, to take a moment and think about, I can probably solve this a different way, or I see the solution right here, or, oh, I can collab with them instead of fighting them. It's the moment to think, to pause, to breathe, to realign, to find a solution, really, to get yourself out of it. But it reduces your cognitive abilities. These are things that we learn a lot too in science classes, but in law, we talk about these things a lot because you have to deal with stress on a regular basis, but you need to be at a highly functioning cognitive level to absorb information and apply it appropriately, and often in timed conditions. So having stress that you aren't able to manage is really not going to be conducive to you getting through law school, let alone passing the bar, et cetera, et cetera. So they teach us a lot of different things to work on some of these things that we're doing. And I was doing a lot of these things before that happened. I doubled down on some of them because I was slacking on some of them. I was letting some of them fall to the wayside a little bit. And I was like, oh, I got to get back on it. So one of the things I have noticed, starting with that, I just went into that whole speech about cognitive ability and cortisol and inflammation and stuff. But I feel like that was a good background. I feel like you needed to know that. You know what I'm saying? You're welcome. Anyway, moving on. These are some things you can do to help build more moments of happiness and joy in your life. And they compound. The cool thing is, and we did already talk about energy. We talked about some of Newton's laws of energy. Creation and destruction of energy cannot happen. Object in motion will stay in motion unless acted on by equal and opposite force. And then one of the primary things you talked about was potential energy and kinetic energy. Potential is the building up of energy. Kinetic is the the usage of that energy, that built up energy. It's the expression of that energy. So you can build up enough happy, joy energy that will express itself over a period of time. If you do some of these steps, you're just gradually building up to where you too will have people coming up to you and saying, why are you always so happy? Why are you always so smiling? Why are things always working out for you? You seem so bubbly. You seem like you're just having a good time of it. Everybody else is freaking out, but you're not. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? You too will have those moments happen to you. It's not just for me. It's for everybody. Literally anybody and everybody can do it. Literally anybody and everybody. Humans. Animals are really usually always doing it. They're better at letting things go. So you don't really see too many animals that are contemplating like that are having like existential crises. You know what I'm saying? It's mostly a human thing. But animals can pick up on human behavior. So if you're a human that's super anxious, you might notice that your dog is also super anxious. And you'll find that the more you practice peace and calm, cool, and assertive energy, shout out to Cesar Millan, your dog will start to behave in a calm, cool, and measured way. And and that's why animals are also a blessing, because they will 100% show you what your energy is. They will tell you almost instantly if your energy's off, if you're imbalanced. They pick up on it. Oh my gosh. And I just saw a picture of a cat on my screensaver. It's super cute. It's funny. You will know instantly, because the animals will tell you. The animals do not fail in their journey to inform us of ourselves. If you're listening and paying attention, nature will have all the answers for you, and also will show you exactly what's going on. But you do have to pay attention. Got to be ready to receive it. Moving on. First things first. We have to learn to quiet our mind. And we have to practice it regularly. Quieting the mind and practicing it regularly. That's it. A lot of the other things that I'm going to tell you are also super helpful. And they're just different ways of doing what I just said. Essentially, that's it. Quieting your mind and doing it regularly. When you start getting into the point where you're quieting your mind and you're doing it regularly and you're building up this energy, and you'll feel it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh, I honestly wish I could see every single person going through this process, because when you start acknowledging how much of your focus and intent to be happy actually affects your ability to be happy and experience different things, it's like your world opens up. You can't unring a bell. And you'll see things you didn't know were there, and you'll start to feel things. Do not be afraid. It's okay if you are, but you don't need to be afraid. All of this is good. All of it is good. Some people are going to notice things start occurring that they were just thinking about occurring, like phone calls, or, oh, I really wanted LaCroix. And then they go into work and someone was like, oh, I got this extra LaCroix. Did you want it? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Or it'll be like, I've never had a positive conversation with my mom, but since I started meditating, it's like every conversation I have with them is really positive and good, or it'll be that problem that I had that I thought was never going to get resolved, that I was scared about. I stopped worrying about it and it just resolved itself. I didn't even have to do anything. You'll find that really annoying person at work that always annoys you every time you come in at work actually is not really annoying you that much. Or maybe they got moved to a different department. You don't even see them at all. Or maybe they quit. Or, you got a promotion, so you move to a new location and don't have to deal with them. Or maybe they flipped a switch and they're actually really funny, and now you have a really good relationship with them. And now when you see them, they make you laugh. There's so many things that open up for you that you too will be super smiley and happy. You're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. You're going to see really cool synchronicities. You might see repetition of numbers, 1 1 1 1 1, 4 4 4 4 4, 3 3 3. You might see animals. If you're an animal person, especially, you might see, or if you have a lot of loved ones reaching out to you from the non-physical realm, you might see a lot of animal interactions that are funny. It's like, why is that bird doing that? That's kind of goofy. Or like everywhere I've gone today, there's like a dog that came up to me that like let me pet it. You know what I'm saying? Or you'll be thinking something and then you'll see it. You'll be like, huh. I haven't seen cats like the play in a while. I haven't seen cats. And then you'll go in line in Starbucks and the person in front of you is wearing the theater cats on their shirt. You know what I mean? It'll be different things like that. And you're going to think, oh, we are in a matrix. We're in a matrix. But it's not that you're in a matrix per se. It's more so that you are attuning to a higher frequency when you're happy. And when you're happy and in that high frequency, you're going to notice the alignment more. You're going to see that everything actually is for me. I'm actually always on the right path. Things are actually always working out for me. I always had the ability to make things work for me. I always had the ability to be happy. I always had the ability to be wealthy, beautiful, accomplished, successful, communicative. There were always these things available to me. I didn't see them. I just didn't see them. That's it. I did not see them because I was in one headspace and I could not see them in that headspace. But now I'm in a different headspace. I can see these things. I see the connections. I see the synchronicities. It's like I think of a song and it's playing on the radio when I get in the car. You know, it's little thing. It'll be little subtle things, but you'll see more and more. And it's just the universe, the law of attraction, spirit, God, whatever, what have you, lining up for you to let you know that you're on the right path. That's it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to like pay anybody. You don't have to like make some kind of like oath, take some kind of oath or something. It's literally just living in your highest joy, and doing it regularly, being consistent. If you can be consistent, you will 100% see results after 30 days. 30 days, guaranteed. If you're not seeing something after 30 days, leave me a comment. Tell me what you're doing. I bet you I can figure out what you're not quite doing right. So let me tell you the things that I do to keep me in that headspace. Number 1, meditate every day. Do it like you're taking vitamins. If you have to be at work by 8 a.m. and usually get up at 6 a.m. to do that, get up at 5:45 a.m. Give yourself 15 minutes. I like to set my timer for 20 minutes because it takes maybe 5 minutes for me to settle in, to get cozy. 15 minutes in the morning, first thing you do. Don't go on your inbox. Don't check your mail. Don't check your phone for any kind of information. You can go to go to the restroom, maybe get a glass of water. Don't have too many conversations on the way to doing that. What else do people do in the morning? Try not to go back into your argument that you were having the day before with whomever or yourself or whatever. Don't watch any TV. Don't go on really anything electronic unless you're going to play like binaural beats with it. And before you do your meditation before you do those things. And then after 15 minutes of meditating, then go about your day, right? But before, when you're doing the meditation, give that space, that time, your space. Just like when you go to use the restroom, it's like you give yourself the time to use the restroom. You're not trying to like fix your car and use the restroom at the same time. Like those are two separate things. Do the one first, and that way you can do the other better. That's how it works. So when it comes to meditation, what you can do, checking time, 41, we're good. what you can do and what I find to be the best, because I understand that people are like, meditation. I don't want to meditate. Like, it's so hard. I never focus. Like, people always tell me that I can't meditate. I literally cannot meditate. I am the one person that cannot meditate. No, everyone always tells me and I just can't do it. I can't quiet my mind. I can't sit still. I can't do these things. Meow 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 meow. That's what I hear. Meow meow meow. And the reality is you're incorrect. You can do anything that you put your mind to. You can do anything, especially something where you don't actually have to physically move. You could just literally use your mind. You can do it too. The thing is that people try to do it, and they try to do it sometimes in the extreme, and they find it difficult, and they're like, oh, I can't do this. And then they quit because it was difficult, because they set themselves up kind of for failure. The reality is that you don't need to be meditating for longer than 15 minutes. If you're doing it for longer than 15 minutes, especially when you're first starting out, you're doing yourself a disservice. Stop doing that. Shut it down. You can always add more time later when it's a part of your regular routine and lifestyle. When you get to that point and it makes sense for you to do that, then you can always add more. Start small, people. Start small. Start with 15 minutes. Okay, set a timer for 20. Give yourself the time in the morning so you can sit up. You need to sit up out of bed. Do not lie down. Sit up. Okay, let your head be pointing to the sky. The top of your head pointing to the sky. Okay, the ceiling, the sky, whatever. Sit up. You can cross your legs, leave them uncrossed, whatever. You can be on a chair. You can be on a bed. You can be on the floor. You can be outside. You can be inside. That part doesn't matter so much as you need to sit up. Because when you're first starting, especially, and depending on what you're doing, you are likely to fall asleep. And you're trying to stay conscious enough so that you practice the conscious act of meditating, not the unconscious act of meditating, which is sleep. You already know how to sleep. You are trying to learn how to do the conscious part, okay? That's the muscle you're trying to flex. So you need to be conscious. If you do it and you fall asleep the first time, that's okay. Do it again tomorrow. Try again. Sit up. Try again. Put some pillows behind your back, under your butt, so you can tilt your pelvis forward a little bit. That puts some relief on your lower back. Try again. If you only could quiet your mind for 3 minutes, that's okay. After that timer stops, stop, go about your day, try again tomorrow. Tomorrow, maybe you'll do 3 minutes and 2 seconds. You just increase it until you can do it. It's the consistency that matters. It's not the perfection. I've been meditating for 5 years now, 5.5 years now. Every day. I've missed some days. I haven't done it exactly perfect every single day, but generally speaking, I meditate every day. And there will be times where sometimes you'll miss, just life happens, or you'll forget, or especially when you're starting out, because you're trying to build the routine, and you just try again tomorrow. The biggest thing that you could do is not beat yourself up about it and not come down hard on yourself just because you didn't get it right the first time. It's meditation. It's a practice. It's not a perfection. It's a practice. It's for you to practice. It's not for you to perfect. It's for you to practice for yourself. And you will find the more you do it, the better you'll get. You'll be able to sit for longer. And when you hit 15 minutes, you can get up. Just go do something else. I wouldn't do it for super long if you don't need to. You know, if maybe you have extra time, maybe it's the weekend and you just feel like you're really enjoying the meditation, then go for as long as you want, you know. But I think part of the issue is that people think they need to be meditating for like a whole hour, 2-3 hours or something like that, and that's going to have the effect. No, you could have the effect of a good meditation that was only 60 seconds long as much as one that was 3 hours long. It's about what's happening in the meditation. It's better if you can make it 3 minutes or more. But anything is better than the nothing. Okay? And consistency. Try it for 30 days. Every day for 30 days. Morning is best. I'm telling you it this way for a reason. Because when you're at the end of your day, you've been influenced over thousands of times, and it's a lot harder to find a quiet mind at the end of the day than it is at the moment of consciousness, where not too many thoughts have come into your mind yet. You're still like waking up, you're still kind of groggy. Hit it that moment you wake up. Sit up, put on some headphones, put on some binaural beats, and meditate. Close your eyes and meditate. You can also do things. There is a app that I like to use. There was one that I was using a lot at the very beginning called Buddhify, spelled like Buddha and then FY, I believe. That one was really nice. It was free. And then I got into Insight Timer, INSIGHTTIMER. I think it's one word. And it looks like a ringing bowl on like a white background. That one's nice. It's free. There are things in it that you can pay for subscriptions. You can also donate money to different people and courses on there and things of that nature, but you do not have to. It's optional. A lot of tracks on there for free. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. And they have guided meditations on there. They have musical concerts. They have yoga on live yoga that you can stream on there. They have soundtracks, meditation tracks, guided meditation. I think I already said that. Lots of workshops and things like that. I think the workshops usually tend to be part of the subscription, but there are individual things on there that you can find. It's amazing. I love it. You can search it. You can start your own groups. You can find your own community. You can find your own people. You can set meditation calendars to meditate with people live from across the US if you wanted. Like if your friends in Tokyo and you're here in the US, you could set time. You'd have to figure out the time zone, but you can set a time for y'all to meditate to the same meditation at the same time together from different places across the world. It's a really cool platform. It's dope. I love it. Every time you log in, it has like that motivational like quotation for you. It's really nice. I recommend it to people that are just starting out. And you can look up beginner meditation. There's also YouTube, which is free. So those are 3 free things that you can do. You also don't have to do that. You can just play white. I think if you have an iPhone, there's a white noise feature on your phone through settings that you can click onto. I don't know about Android. Android probably has one though too. You can Google these things. Either way, it is best to find a white noise, especially if you are in an area that is noisy, especially if you're new to start, so you have something to focus on. When your brain starts shifting, and it will, you're going to want something to focus on. The white noise will help. You will be like thinking, quieting your mind. Then you'll be like, I need to go pick up some milk. Because the one I have in the fridge, it's like expired right now. And I meant to pour it out. I didn't pour it out yet. I just got to do that. Oh my God, I really don't want to go to the store. Oh God, I got to put gas in the car. I didn't put gas in the car, so I'm going to have to do that first before I can even go get the milk. I should just set up delivery. I should set up pickup. That's what I should do. I'm not going to do that. Oh, shoot. I'm zoning out. Okay, white noise. Yes, back to the white noise. Focusing on the white noise. You see? And that happens to me all the time. I have ADHD. So if I can do it, you can do it. That's what I know. I know that within 100%. I have both presentations. I have the hyperfixation and I have the attention deficit. So what I'm saying to you is that, yes, you can do it too. But it's not going to be perfect. And that's the thing. People are like, I didn't get it. I didn't win. So I'm not going to do it. It's not about winning. It's about doing it consistently. Seeing it through. You couldn't sit this time? That's fine. Try again tomorrow. There's also different ways to meditate too. There are some on the Insight Timer, there are walking meditations. So if you're someone that needs to be physically moving, you could be marching in place and quieting your mind at the same time. Actually, working out is one of the ways in which some people do tap into a sort of meditative state and trance, is through movement of their body, focusing on a workout or things of that nature. It helps them clear their mind. That is one way of doing it. Some people find that more useful than others. It's not the only way to do it, but it's one of the main ways to do it. You can always find high vibration when you are in a state of joy, when you're in a state of, I would say, creative, fixational joy. That's maybe a goofy way of saying it. But for example, when I'm writing and I'm in my writing, I'm really zoned into my writing and I'm really just, the whole world around me cancels out. This is how you know that you're in a high vibrational state. You don't have to just meditate to be in a high vibrational state. You can find these states and you probably already do them and don't know that you're doing it. It's just the difference of the meditation and being in those high vibrational states is that the meditation helps you relearn how to be the master of your own vibration. It's like taking a driver's ed course. It's like you probably know how to drive a car, generally speaking, but there are some things in the driver's ed course that maybe you forgot. You're like, oh, I forgot that squiggly line sign means slow down, the road's about to twist and turn. You know what I mean? Or I don't know. No, I'm talking about driving. Something like that. I don't know. It's like, I forgot that if the child is like over 7.5 pounds, then you put them this way in the car, whatever the rules are, it gives you the structure that maybe you forget by living your life. You forgot. Oh, like, I forgot that I can have access. It just gives you control of the reins. It helps you learn how to practice quieting your mind. And when you start learning how to do it yourself, instead of relying on external things to do it for you, what happens is anywhere, anytime, with anyone, you can find peace and quiet your mind. It's an extremely beneficial practice. That means if you are about to go into an interview and you're stressed out, you can quiet your mind. You're about to take a massive examination, you can quiet your mind. You're about to go into a divorce proceeding, you can quiet your mind. If you are going to tell the family that you're going to be a comedian instead of a doctor, you can quiet your mind before that happens. You can, before you go get that new puppy because you're not sure which one you want, you can quiet your mind. There are so many times, you're looking for inspiration for your next big art project, you can quiet your mind. Or musical, lyrical inspiration, you can quiet your mind. You have a question about something that you didn't understand in class, you can quiet your mind. You don't know how to solve this problem and you're feeling super helpless and lost on it, you can quiet your mind. You can quiet your mind anytime, any day, anywhere. I would recommend you do it in a safe space. Like, don't close your eyes while you're driving, okay? Like, obviously, you shouldn't be doing that then. But in a safe space where it's safe for you to do that, then yes, you can do that. You can still meditate with your eyes open in the car. I've done car meditations too. Do them. I would just not advise them generally because I just don't think it's safe, especially if you're new. Maybe when you advance or something and, follow the instructions of whatever you're using, but, always follow the rules of the road first. And if it's distracting you from driving safely, then don't do it. Power over your own mind. If you can control your mind, you can control your thoughts. And your thoughts can then control your beliefs, and your beliefs can then control your behaviors and your actions. that lead to the outcomes and manifestations. You can change your entire existence by simply quieting your mind on a regular basis and living in your high vibration. Another way of high vibration is you'll know you're in a high vibration state. You'll see a lot of like sequences, like I said earlier, but also you'll be in a really good state of mind. You're going to feel good. You're going to feel like you're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing with the right people or not. And it's going to be like you lose track of time. It's going to be like anytime you've ever been in a thing, you're like, oh man, time's flying by really fast. You are in a higher vibrational state. You were enjoying yourself. And when you're enjoying yourself, typically you are really fixated. The time is going to time really does change, and time can also slow down too. It can slow down and speed up based on your perception of it, based on your perception of your own joy, of your own happiness. You want to draw something out and have a really good time, and you can draw out, that's a whole nother conversation, but you can draw out the time in doing that, and you can have all the time in the world to be happy. It really is a mental thing. When you talk about, like, they have movies like, what is that movie? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. Ugh, that's gonna bother me. Lucy, where you're accessing the potential of your mind. You can access that potential now. You don't need a drug to do that. You don't need a person to do that. You don't even need a guided meditation. You can do that yourself, quieting your mind. And it's just, you'll get better at it the longer you do it consistently, just like with anything, y'all. It really is just like with anything. So, 15 minutes in the morning before you're influenced by other things, get that meditation and quiet your mind. Quieting your mind could be something neutral, like I'm just trying to make all my thoughts go blank. And every time I zone out, I'll try to bring myself back to the white noise or my breathing, or, or maybe a mantra in my head or something. Or I'll just notice drifting. Every time I drift, my thoughts drift, I'll say drifting, and when I say that, it'll remind me to come back to quieting my mind. Practice. Doing it daily. Setting your intentions are the second thing. Moving throughout your day and setting your intentions. A good way of setting your intentions are I do it a lot in my head. It's like, I literally just say, I intend to get to this destination safely. Usually, like I said, my intentions have to deal with driving in the car, because that is a contingency point for me where I consistently find frustration. So when I find something where I consistently find frustration, I take more time to adjust my thinking around it and to prepare myself mentally and to work through it more readily, because I know it's a point of contention for me. So I set an intention, and when I set an intention, things work out. They do well for me. It could be anything. It could be going into an interview. You can say, I intend to have a lovely interview. It can be as detailed or not if you want. I try to keep it general, because a lot of times I'm about to do something and I don't have like 15 minutes to sit and talk about all the wonderful things I'm going to visualize. So it'll be a statement. It'll be, I intend to get to my destination safely. I intend to have fun at this meeting. I intend to absorb all the information I can today. I intend to have a really good examination. I intend for all the things that I learned to flow to me with great ease. I intend to have a great conversation with my mother. I intend to have some good laughs with friends. I intend to have a fun night out. I intend to be safe. I intend for everyone to be happy. I intend to be, well cared for. Whatever it is that you're intending. And it could be moment to moment. That would be, I think, a bit excessive to do it every single moment. But sometimes when you're in a difficult period of time, it might help to be more intentional with moment to moments. It might not. You got to figure out what works for you. For me, kind of just generally saying those things in my head help a lot. You can also set an intention before you go into your meditation. I intend to have a really good meditation. I intend to find the peace I'm looking for. I intend for that problem to find a solution quickly. And these are things you can do on top of the meditation. The meditation is key. Living in your highest joy, your highest vibration is key. Meditation is going to bring you to neutral or higher. That's the point of meditation. It's not meant to make things perfect per se. It's meant to help find a neutral space, especially if you're having a difficult time, but it can also meditate into a higher vibration as well. But neutral is going to do wonders for you, just as positive vibrations will do wonders for you. So sometimes you're in such a bad headspace where all you can do is go neutral. It's like, I can't think of anything positive in my life right now, so I'm just going to go neutral. I'm just going to clear my mind. And I'm just going to focus on that. And when it starts to drift, I'm going to say drifting and focus on clearing my mind again. And I start to drift, I'm going to say drifting and focus. You just keep doing it until the time runs out. And then the next day you do the same thing. You can do nighttime. I find it difficult for myself with the ADHD on top of things. My medicine's wearing down. And also I'm finding that there's so many things that I want to do. And so, but I do try to set more intentions before bed. Like, I intend to have restful sleep, and I might do some journaling. Journaling helps me at night, in the morning as well. So those are things that you can do to really kind of have, a nice day. If you're really tired, this is a good one too. I'm just going to say this. Chanting is also really fun. I find different experiences of chanting for me than other things. Chanting is a good one. I did get in touch with like a community that chants here in San Diego. They're really dope. Some people are Buddhist, some people are Christian, some people are just non-denominational or no religion. But the point is the chanting. Chanting is something you can do. It's different from meditation, and it has different effects in my personal opinion. But you can get to a similar state of mind, high vibrational or neutral energy, that meditation can get you to, if it just works for you in that way. For me, I found that, let's say I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before and I have to get up early to go to like an event or work or school where my brain needs to be functioning maybe at a higher rate. I will maybe meditate a little bit and then I'll go into a chant. Chanting usually, the kind I do is, what is it? It's Nam Yoho Renge Kyo. There it is. Nam Yoho Renge Kyo. That's the one that I do. And there are ways to go about doing it. You do also sit up. You do find a focal point in front of you. There is like a little, some people have I forget what it's called. It's a little focal, it's kind of like a piece of wood, and it represents like your life essence, and you can focus on that. You typically want to meditate out eye level, because the idea is like waking up your energy, and you would typically do this repetitively and loudly, and then you can also visually in your head focus on what you're trying to do or set an intention before you go into chanting. I do like chanting. I find that chanting is almost like taking an espresso shot, and meditation is the more calming me down. Although there are meditations that can get me hyped. It depends. Some of the more breathing focused meditations where you're focusing on your breathing can really get me energized. Especially when there's solar plex breathing, where it's like that type of stuff. There are also just really high vibrational, excited morning meditations that get you ready for the morning, that they're kind of like get you pumped. There are different ones. Insight Timer has a lot of these things. So you can literally just type in the search bar what you're really looking for or theme, and it'll find that for you. But chanting is a really fun one too. I do like chanting. Sometimes I'll listen to chanting while I'm meditating. And I just find that meditation quiets my mind. And since I'm constantly trying to slow my mind down a bit, it works more for me. Chanting is more of an active energy. It's a lot of breath work. And the breath work, like I said, it energizes you, it pumps you up, it gets you going, gets the blood flowing, and it's a bit more of an active thing. But you can also quiet your mind in chanting as well. Same amount of time, same amount of practice. What would I say? What else? Segment intending, setting an intention, positive intention. You try to want to keep it positive, you know? Like if I were to say, I'm not going to get angry at my boss again today, that is setting an intention, but it's a negative focus within the intention. So try to be more, this will come down to the third thing I was going to say, but so a way to refocus that, to rephrase that is, I intend to have a lovely day at work, or I intend to have calm, cool, and collected interactions with my boss today. And that's different than saying, I intend to not get pissed off at my boss today. You see how it's different? You see how the intention is setting something for success and not for failure. You want to set yourself up for success. So the wording is just as important. Your words are powerful, people. If you haven't figured that out yet, you better now. If you don't know, now you know. So moving on to the words, now that I said that, and I'll let this be the last thing for now. There are other things. Those are the main things. Be consistent. Try it for 30 days. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. After 30 days, let me know what you think. If you haven't noticed something shift, hit me up in the comments. We'll figure out what needs to be adjusted. Because I'm telling you, it's not going to be 30 days before you see a difference. But I like to say 30 days because it takes 30 days to adopt a new routine. That's what they say typically. 30 days. Every day. If you miss a day, that's okay. Start the count over. You have the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? And don't beat yourself up about it. Just, I missed today. That's okay. I'll try again tomorrow. That's simple. Don't make it any more complicated than that. One thing you're going to have to learn, the more you spend time like fussing over yourself and others, the more conflict you create for yourself. Some things just need to be let go. Just like, okay, they made a mistake. It's being corrected. Let's move on. Don't hold on to it. Why? Why are you holding on to it? Move on. There's so many better things to hold on to. If your arms are holding on to things you don't like, you're not making room for the things you do like. You're stuck. You're like this. You're holding things that you don't want. Let it go. I don't want it. Bye. Oh, I do want this though. And then hold that tightly. That's the stuff you gotta hold tightly too. So your words are powerful. You're not going to get this perfectly. So again, not beating yourself up, but being a little bit more intentional with your words. Try not to gossip about others. Try it for 30 days. See how that works. Try not to gossip about yourself. Some of you don't realize that you're cursing yourselves every day. Like in witchcraft, the word, and not just witchcraft, but in the Bible and in religion as well, pagan practices, your words are incredibly powerful. They're incantations. They're expressions of self. They're extensions of you. Your energy put forth into not light waves, sound waves, vibrations that go into others. They go into others. Light waves travel through, sorry, I keep saying light waves. Sound waves, I must have light on my mind. Sound waves travel through solid objects very easily. They actually travel through air slower. Humans are solid objects. So when you're traveling, you're putting your words, they're traveling through people, into others, into things, into your space around you. And it absorbs. What do we talk about? Energy. The energy does not go away. It just transitions into something else. What do you think those things, those words you're saying are transitioning to? If all you do is say bad things about yourself and others, and you're in your room, where is it going? It's going into your environment. The objects are absorbing that vibration. Literally, they're absorbing that vibration. You can put mechanisms on the objects on you and see the vibration that they're absorbing. It absorbs into it, that negative energy. And then you live in it. You sit in it. So then you're constantly angry, constantly reliving that frustration. It's important to pay attention to your words. You're not going to be perfect. It's okay to not like something. It's okay to have preferences. It's okay to get upset. But how long are we holding on to it is the question. Was I upset yesterday and I'm still upset today and the next day and the next day about it? Or did I let it go? Did I resolve it? If I'm holding on to it, I'm actually not solving the problem. I got to find a way around it. I got to find a way to resolve it. And maybe I can't right now. Maybe I'm too upset. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to take time to process that. Meditate on it. Not on it, but meditate. Clear your mind. Find neutrality. And start again. And you'll find solutions. You'll find resolution. You'll find you're not as pissed off as you used to be. You're not easily as pissed offable. It's funny. Piss offable. You're not easily as pissed off. Things just roll off your back. Like, oh, they said that thing. Oh, I don't care. Anyway, you might not even hear it. They might say something. You might not even hear it. You're too busy being happy. He's like, what's up? Yeah, you having a good day? And meanwhile, this person's talking. Yeah, I know. You don't even hear it. It doesn't even bother you. And the more energy you build up around you that's positive, it will push out all the negative. It will naturally push out all the negative. Because one vibration cannot exist in tandem with the other. It's like you're tuning into one radio station. You can't be on 101.6 and also be on 98.6 at the same time. You can only be on one frequency. What are you tuning into? You tune into the right station, the rest kind of just fall away. Most of your problems go away. Most of the people you don't like go away. Most of the people you like start coming in. Most of the things you enjoy start coming in. You'll find more joy. You'll find more peace. People will start asking you questions. Why are you so bubbly? Why are you so happy? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why do you look so not stressed? Everyone else is stressed around you. You look happy. It's like, I just meditate every morning. I literally tell people that. They think I'm joking. They think I'm joking, y'all. They think I'm gatekeeping something. I'm taking some kind of drug, or I'm doing some kind of shit, or doing this or doing that. I was like, I'm literally just meditating. I'm literally meditating and doing the things I just told you. Segment intending, meditating, trying to pay attention to my words. That could also be music, y'all. Pay attention to what you're listening to. If you're always listening to, my mom sucks and hates me, you know what I'm saying? You might feel that your mom sucks and hates you. I'm just saying, if you're always watching scary movies and then you're always scared, there might be a correlation. I can't say it's for everything, though. I can't say every time you listen to a sad song, you're going to be sad. Or every time this happens, you're going to be this. It's usually an accumulation of stuff. And it's not necessarily applies exactly to one person. Because one person can watch a scary movie and find it funny. Another person can watch it and not be able to sleep for 3 weeks. It just depends on the person. You got to find what's right for you. That's why pick up what works, leave the rest. Okay? But your words are something that everyone can work on. Especially the internal words that you say to yourself. I'm not smart enough. I'm not cute enough. I'm not capable. I'm scared. I'm broke. I'm this. Blah, 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 blah. That's what I start to hear. That's what I hear. Meow, meow, meow. Like, no, incorrect. Distortion. You are fine. You are infinite. You are a creator of your own reality. And you can create scenarios that make it difficult for you to create scenarios. And that is the beauty of being who you are. The thing is you've been doing all the things that I've just described. You just didn't know you were doing it. So all I'm doing is just showing you that the key was already in your pocket. It's not in that other motherfucker's pocket over there. It's not in that person's pocket because they got more money than you. It's not It's not hidden, buried treasure. The devil didn't steal your key. You are the key. Number one, you're the key. And the pocket is yours too. The pocket is yours. You are the key in your own pocket. It's you. No one else. That's it. And the government doesn't want you to know that. I'm just kidding. I don't know what the government wants. All I know is that a lot of structures within society make it so that you don't feel that way, so that you don't know that, so that you don't think that you're amazing when you are. You are infinite creation itself. You are stronger than the energy one gets when they split an atom. You are creation itself. That's you. And when you start looking at other things, you start expanding your mind in other places, especially when you start thinking about astronomy, how worlds are built, how stars form, you're like, holy crap, I have to be infinite. When you start looking at the universe as a grand whole, and that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day, but it's, as I said, the science correlates with spirituality and things are catching up. Spirituality has always been a step ahead, but science is catching up. It's catching. And if you are looking for it and you're paying attention, you will find a lot of your solutions. Focus on your highest joy. If you are stressed out, if you are worried about someone else's opinion about the thing that you love, if you're like, I'm Catholic and I don't support Buddhists, that pisses me off because my religion is the correct one and they're incorrect, you're not happy. If you're like, I'm in a world where I'm a hardworking American and these immigrants are taking our jobs type shit, you're not happy. If you are in a relationship and you're like, why is he talking to that girl at work? Like, he's calling her pretty and he doesn't ever call me pretty. You're not happy. Like, if you are constantly upset with your boss and you're not getting paid and you're like, man, I never have the amount of money that I want to do the things that I want to do, you're not happy. If you are like, talking shit about yourself, like, oh, I can't wear that because I don't have the body for that, or I'm not cute enough, or my hair is super frizzy, or my nose is too big, or blah blah blah, fill in the blank, my toes aren't painted, you're not happy. Now, it's not to say you're not happy overall. You could be, but in that moment when you're having those thoughts and experiencing those feelings in those moments I just described, you're not happy. You're not living your highest joy. You're not living your happiest self. You are not taking the key out of your own pocket and unlocking the door. You're holding on to it for some reason, because probably you want the lesson that comes from holding on to it and not actually using it. But I'm trying to tell you, you can use the key whenever you want. You can choose to be happy. You can say, maybe I'm not in the best place with how I perceive my body, but there are wonderful things about my body. My legs work. I can use my legs. If that doesn't work, I can use my mind. The fact that I'm even able to have that thought means my mind is functioning, and that's really all I fucking need to live my life. Like, this is the powerhouse up here. Hello. After your body dies, your mind keeps going, and they already have studies that show that. The powerhouse is here. Everything is up here. Okay. Period. I'm doing great. Everything's going to work out for me. And maybe I need to start doing some things to practice loving myself more. Maybe I'm just not spending enough time with me. Maybe I need to get to know me. Maybe I need to take myself out on a date. Like, when was the last time I asked myself if I was okay and listened? Maybe it's not about the girl that's being that your boyfriend is, I don't know, he could be cheating. I don't know. I'm not saying that they're not doing that. It could be. But fuck that got to do with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm living my best life. And when I'm focused on me and being my happiness and my true joy, I'm not going to attract men that cheat on me. The only people that are going to come into my life are people that care about me and who I am and are loyal to that and are honest, good people with good intentions. Because I love myself and I demonstrate the way I deserve to be treated. Sometimes you got to teach people the way you deserve to be treated. They don't know. And if I'm with someone that would think, consider, want to cheat on me, then obviously I'm attracting that type of person for some reason. I need to figure out why that is. Why? Let me assess myself. Oh, there were a couple of few flags I ignored for the sake of whatever, because I thought I needed a man to be happy, because my mom always said or society says this or whatever, you know. Now I'm just happy being myself and doing my own thing, and that person's not in the picture anymore, because I don't deserve to be with someone that doesn't treat me right. I deserve better. So I do better for myself. And by doing better for myself, I do better for others. Right? Because when he was with me and I stayed with him, even though I knew he was doing that, I was teaching him that that's an acceptable thing to do to a woman. It is not. He's not learning his lesson. So I had to leave him. It teaches him what he needed to know. It teaches me what I needed to know. And now I can move on. My arms are open to receive the people that actually care about me. Type. The boss. The boss is one of those people where I can't control their emotions. I can't control my boss. If they want to come to work and be a grumpy grump, they can be a grumpy grump. That's on them. But I can determine how I take that information, how I receive that, how I choose to live the rest of my day based on their interactions or non-interactions with me. I can set an intention and say, I intend to have a lovely day at work. I intend to have wonderful interactions with the people I work alongside and with. And lo and behold, when I encounter that person, they don't bother me as much. Or if they say something, I just take it, what I need to know, and leave the stuff I need to know, and move about my day. And the more I do that, I notice I actually don't run into that person that often anymore. And it gives me more space to find a job with people that do treat me well. And I'll be able to notice that they're those type of people because I notice what I don't want, and the new people don't act like that. So they're more aligned with what I do want. Segment intending, speaking properly of yourself, speaking properly of others, and meditating regularly. 30 days in the morning. You can do it more than that. I would start off light if you're new. Your brain, your mind is going to drift. That's okay. Try again when the timer's up. Do it again tomorrow. Keep going. You'll get better. Even when you get into like multiple years of having meditated every day, you'll find yourself sometimes still drifting. And it'll be okay, because sometimes you'll start drifting into a higher vibrational thought. And you'll be connecting with source. You'll feel really good. When I'm feeling really good, things are in alignment. When I'm starting to feel off, things are moving out of alignment. I can always get myself back into alignment if I need to. Not everyone is going to get what I'm doing. Not everyone is going to understand. I don't need to explain to everybody. It's not for them. It's for me. They don't need to know. They don't need to care. I don't need their opinions. If they give it, that's okay. I don't have to pick it up. I don't have to keep it. I don't have to hold it. I can let it go. I'm in control of that. Those interactions. They don't need to do what I'm doing in order for what I'm doing to work successfully. They don't need to believe in what I believe in order for what I'm doing to be true. For me. They don't have to be about it. That's on them. They have their own journey. That's not my business. I'm in my lane. Let them be in theirs. Okay. I said what I said. Anyway, thank you, y'all. I've reached that time. And this has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate spending this time with you and kind of going through this. This was a topic, obviously, that I really enjoy. It's a big topic for me. It's something that, like I said, I practice regularly. Finding the happiness, cultivating the happiness, building up the reserves of happiness every day. It's an everyday thing. Sometimes it's an every moment thing. But we got it. I got it. You got it. We got it. I am Ellie. This is and has been Ellie's Perspective. Make sure that you subscribe, like the video, share it with as many people as possible. Have fun, save it for later, come back to it, think, take notes, implement it, try it out, experiment with some of the things I'm saying. It couldn't hurt. What's it gonna hurt? It's all in your head. I am not a licensed professional, so if you are dealing with something serious, make sure that you are speaking to your medical professionals, that you're speaking to your legal professionals, that don't quit your job before you have another one lined up. Don't close your eyes when you're driving. Let's use a little bit of our common sense here. Be safe out there. Try the things I'm saying, implement them, see how they work. Other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this discussion with me. I'm here to help you cross that bridge between the secular and the non-secular so we can find those commonalities. I am happily your guide. This has been Ellie's Perspective. Have a nice day.